taking off in 5, 4, 3, 2. Isn't it nice when things just work and shit?
After 42 minutes, yes. They started to work.
No, it was always 11:45 that the thing was supposed to.
11:52
Well,
now.
whatever. All right, so 7 minutes. All
Quick
right,
maths.
7 minutes. All right. Welcome to the Fade Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything TV, media, film related, along with any other goddamn thing we want to talk about. Comes to you live direct, Proof Concept Studios. It's your boy T.O. As you know.
It's your boy, Fako Rain.
Oh God, just say another name. That's actually
That's $100 grand.
100 grand.
100 grand.
Hondo.
100 grand. Addy Play. That's your man.
Addy Play.
Yeah.
Yo, what's good, man? It's been a minute since
It's
you've
been a
even been in the
minute,
studio,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the studio.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. We were just having a great conversation about legs,
As we do.
moisturizer, and all that good stuff. That
Yeah.
I just
You might have to clarify what we're talking about. Otherwise, people might think that's a little odd that two guys are talking about moisturizing.
we were talking about how you know you're not gay.
It's because I don't moisturize.
It's because
That's
you
how I
don't
know.
moisturize. Exactly.
That's how I know.
I'm actually curious about that one though, because you used to moisturize like crazy.
I still do.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember we'd be on productions and you'd carry around lotion.
Yeah. Okay. Generally, let me just preface this with
it's lotion.
It's a black thing, Addy. You don't
I
want to
mean,
be
I
caught.
assumed.
You don't want to
but-
be caught. Yeah.
Do you like moisturize the legs too and everything? Is it
No,
like
just
a whole,
the
full
visible
body
areas.
thing?
No,
Okay,
it's just the visible
gotcha.
areas. What am I doing?
So like you take your pants off, your ass is real chapped. Like it's real bad.
No. I usually moisturize after getting out of the shower, but the problem is like, say if I wash my hands constantly, or
Right.
whatever, right? Then now I got to moisturize it because it's like I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah.
ashy hands. Or if I just I'm in a hurry and I don't really have time to moisturize the rest of my body, fuck it. I'm not taking off my clothes today, so fuck it. What am I doing here?
Well,
Yeah,
how do you know
who's
you're not
seeing
taking your clothes off today?
this? I mean,
Situation might call for it. You don't want to be chappy in the wrong spot.
When you're in a long-term committed relationship, you can pretty much guarantee when
You
you're
might
probably
want to
taking
get
off your.
freaky at the restaurants.
Yeah, at the what? First of all, what are you? What
Honey and
restaurant?
milk. I don't know.
Yeah, why are you getting freaky in the restaurant? Like, what is
Spice
the,
things up, man.
spice
It's
things
been
up?
a
Have you
while.
gotten freaky in a restaurant?
No,
All
but
right.
I also don't need to moisturize everywhere.
He said no. Was that a kind of a yes?
You
But
know,
you
you
just
didn't-
didn't want to like.
I mean,
tell
maybe
us,
a couple of times.
Oh shit! Throw
I
it
mean,
out
hey,
there.
look, yeah, Anna and I got stuck in New York. in a
I don't want to hear the
blizzard,
rest of the story.
And it was.
I don't want to hear the rest of the
for
story.
her.
Let's just proceed here. Ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck? Welcome.
I think people are saying "what the fuck" when they listen to that
Yes,
opening.
what are you guys talking about? You guys are both drunk, and it's just the afternoon on
Tired,
Saturday.
that's what it is.
It mostly is. Shout out to first things first. Shout out to Rain. He was feeling a little under the weather today, so
Yeah,
luckily, Mr. Ads and Plays
of course,
came
man.
through the spot.
Had to make an appearance.
For sure, man. Now, are you currently still watching soccer? Because I feel like you're
No,
probably still
I'm not. It's
That's a lie.
over.
That's
No,
a lie.
no,
You're still
absolutely
watching it.
not.
Okay,
Yeah, say absolutely
You just flipped the
not.
screen at me. That's all you did. That's all you did. You're still watching
It's
it.
not on.
It's just on the next.
Nah,
the
Norwich
next thing.
City won 1-0. Beat Blackpool. We're all good.
Yeah,
It's a happy
I was
day.
trying to get a little soccer. No, okay. Is it offensive when I say soccer? Because I was at an event
No, we're in
a couple weeks
America.
ago. Well, okay, fair enough. But I was at an event a few weeks ago, and the two people I was talking to, they were saying football, and I wanted to make the distinction because I was also talking
you are
about
kind of
football,
an
but
asshole.
a different football. And so I didn't know what to do. I was like locked up. I was like, soccer, but your football, but soccer, my football. It was just like, I just felt like an idiot. I was like, what are you? Just get it together, guy.
Were these guys foreign? Were they foreign?
One of them was. The other guy was just.
All right. Well, with the other guys
he was
foreign,
a
then yeah,
whitey.
no, you call it football in respect to him.
Yeah, but I was also talking about.
And
so
if he's
I
German,
felt
it's foosball.
he was not German.
Or if it's
so luckily
Bosnian, it's Nogomet.
He was none of those things. So luckily I didn't have to go there. So should I then say American football? I feel stupid saying that too. I feel stupid saying a lot of things.
Yes, absolutely, you should.
Ouch. That hurt my feelings.
No, man, you can't be. So, like, I coach high school soccer in the U.S., so we call it high school soccer. Like, nobody's going to go around calling it high school football because there is a high school football.
Yeah, if we're dealing with just Americans.
Right. But yeah, if you're like, with a foreign guy and his whole life he's called it, football, and they're clearly talking about European
okay,
football.
So how do I do that and address American football? What is my protocol there? If I want to talk about
preference said with I don't know, let's say my favorite NFL team.
Oh, just go with the NFL.
Yeah, then everybody will know. And then you can slide in football and then you're good.
Then it just sounds weird. It's like when I used to play football, I mean NFL, I didn't play
No, well
football.
then in that case you say American football.
Okay, yeah.
It all depends on what you're talking about.
Weird, man. I don't know.
I don't know
if we're gonna get this right.
It's hilarious because this is the kind of thing that we're gonna struggle with once we're living in France.
Yeah,
because they have so many different like ways that you're supposed to structure sentences, and I'm just like,
what's your level of like? Do you putting forth the effort to like? For those who don't know, Addie and family are jumping across the pond.
Frenchies.
As they say to France here in the what's now very near future.
Yeah, it's coming up, man. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. So, what is your desire to actually like learn French?
Well, learn French, yeah, absolutely. Like my desire is pretty up there now. Like
okay, or desire execution.
Fluently, like probably not as much as when I was learning English. Because in my professional career, that's when I started stepping up how I speak.
Also, you were very young when
enough. I was, but I mean, even to this day, there's like some stuff that I just grammatically say wrong. Yeah. But it wasn't until I started like my professional career where like speech really did matter. The way I came off mattered. Like my name, it's not Addie Play, it's Otis Play. And like when people would see that when I would say it, they
put your government out there. That's brave.
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay, man.
Yeah, brave.
There's like 3 Otis Plays in the world. You won't know it's me.
I think specifically
only one in Maryland though, so yeah, you would know.
Why do you give them a leg up? Stop giving them a leg up.
I'm gonna be in France. It's okay, but no. Honestly, fluently, I probably won't care too much about that. Okay. Because I mean, we're gonna be raising kids. They're gonna know French and English, so I need to know both languages. Yeah. For my medical stuff, which is like a huge reason why I'm going over there anyway. Like, I need to be able to communicate like medical terms in French. Yeah. But will I be at this level? Probably not. I don't know if I'll care enough.
Dude, I still have weird ambitions of like learning like every language. Like I want to learn.
Start with English.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you never learned Spanish? Like that wasn't what did you do in high school?
I did French and Spanish in high school. Don't remember any of it. And then I took an Italian course when I was in college.
You just couldn't like pick a language. You're just like I
like them all. Yeah,
I'm doing all of Central Europe, and then I'm going over to Eastern Europe.
Hey, let's do it, dude. Whatever whatever floats my boat there. And I still really, I think I need to start with Spanish because that's like I'm tired of just going places and just feeling like I'm the odd person out. Like everybody else is having a fucking conversation, and I'm just here feeling like an idiot of just like, what the fuck's being said right now? What are you saying to me?
Okay, so you're worried about them saying something to you about you, which you don't understand.
Well, both. Like I'm afraid of. I'm just afraid of communication, of lack thereof. You know. I need to be able to communicate with people, right? So I don't give a fuck if I got to learn Spanish, I'll learn Spanish, right? If I got to learn it's my desire to go to Italy some point in the near future. So when I go there, I do want to like be able to like.
People speak English, man.
I know, but it's just like a fucking American to be like, whatever, dude. Speak English. You'll be in fucking Nicaragua. Speak English. Like,
it's slightly different if you're visiting versus living there. If you're living there, people would be like, all right, fucking American, like learn our fucking language.
But that's what I'm saying is here in America we don't care, right?
Yeah.
Visitor, fucking, you live here. You've lived here for 5 minutes. I don't care. Speak English. Speak American. You know, that's the way we are.
American.
Speak American.
It's so American to say speak American.
That's what we do. We say stupid shit. We don't even know the fucking English language, and we're like, speak it. You know.
You know what's interesting about that though? We were talking to our realtor and her husband, Vince. He's a like super famous jazz musician who's living over there, and his French is like nowhere near like her French. Like she learned French like back in the 70s. So he was just learning French, and like I could tell he wasn't like really communicating well. And I asked, I was like, hey, like what's the situation? Like how come like she speaks it so well? You guys have been here at same length of time. And he was basically like, well, she like knew French already, and she just kind of perfected what she already knew, whereas I was starting fresh. And when he would try to talk to people, they would get annoyed and just speak English, and to his own detriment. And but like we will see that in Bosnia too, and in Germany too. Like when I lived there, like when I was first learning the languages, like Yeah, people would just switch over to English. Be like, all right, let's move on. Like we don't got all day for you to figure out.
Yeah.
Go to college.
But I think that's the part that like kind of bugs me a little bit is that like I feel like the world has adapted to English, but it's just like.
Yeah, but you don't want to be in Italy trying to order, spaghetti and meatballs and Italian
terrible
while they're trying to work their job. It's like, no, just point to what you want.
Impersonation of an Italian person. That was.
I wasn't. I was imitating a Bosnian racist. German American in a Italian accent.
But you put the Italian.
A spaghetti and meatball.
And then you did hands.
You gotta do it.
Let's get off this
it's in our culture too, man. We do this in our culture too, man.
Let's just get off.
You know what this means?
This,
do you want to eat food?
Yeah,
that's what that means. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah.
Give me the meatballs.
I'm just gonna change subjects, dude. I feel uncomfortable.
Hey, I'm European. I get to do it.
Hey, fair enough, man. Fair enough. They'll.
You don't.
I don't feel comfortable at all. Oh, here, let me get the mouse.
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting though, man. If you ever do go to Italy, I'm gonna meet you there.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be a party.
And I'm gonna record all your conversations.
I'm going next year, dude.
All right.
I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah, I kind of made a decision today. That because I'm kind of.
You legit made it today.
Basically, yeah. So I've been kicking rocks about like, okay, like I want to go somewhere. I want to do something.
Yeah.
And shall we say, I have to make these decisions sooner rather than later because of other decisions that are being made in life just in general. And so it's like, all right, well, where should I go then? And I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. So it's like, you get one fucking trip, dude. All right, get one fucking trip to have.
Gotcha.
Where are you going to go? And I'm like, should I do like fucking like London or something like that? Nah. Should I fucking do somewhere in Asia or some shit like that? But also kind of expensive, if we were talking about like Japan or some shit.
Italy, Europe, like Central Europe, much cheaper to fly to.
Can do that on a little bit of more of a budget. So should I go somewhere in Africa? Like, you know what I mean? Like, should I go to Nigeria? And I think I settled on Italy because I just fucking want to. Like I've always wanted to go, and I need to. I'm gonna have one trip, anyways. So
you want to see where the Sopranos got their start? Like I gotcha.
That's your jokes are awful. I'm
so tired.
On, man. Yeah, man. Just don't. As they say,
I can't help it.
If you can't say something good, don't say anything at all, dude.
I can't help it. This is what the people come here for.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about other things that are good that are coming out in theaters. Let's start there. Okay.
Let's do that.
So we got if we're talking about this week, next week, we got Amsterdam. Which is coming out in theaters this week. And that's going to be starring Margot Robbie, Christian Bale, Chris Rock, as well as John David Washington, unless I'm mistaken.
Yes.
And like a slew of other people.
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, just a lot of other.
I think De Niro's in it too, right?
I believe. Yeah, De Niro's in it. Yeah, he's in it.
What's a big cast?
Huge cast. It looks like a really interesting movie.
Now, what's Taylor Swift got to do? Like, what is she doing in that movie? Because I know she's in it.
The fuck if I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is she in it? I don't know.
Yeah, she's absolutely in it.
Okay, fair enough. Literally anybody. They were just like, fuck
anybody,
it.
Yeah.
Whatever. You over there on that bench. Get in this movie, Yeah, I don't know. Has she acted before? I'm sure she has, right?
I've seen some music videos. That's about it.
I don't think that a music video counts as... I guess it depends on what type of music video.
Oh no, the lead guy in the reboot of MacGyver, Lucas Till, he got his start on one of her music videos.
Why do you know this?
I don't know why I know that.
Jesus Christ, that's such a weird thing to fucking.
I just know it.
All right. Okay.
Your boy Rami Malek is in it.
Oh yeah, he is in it. I did see him in the
huge cast.
Huge cast.
Who else?
Literally just everybody.
Will Smith is in it.
Yeah.
He'll make a cameo. Nobody knows about
somebody's being resurrected from the dead who's going to be in this movie. I don't know. I don't even know who. Sidney Poitier. Is he still alive? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is he dead? I don't know.
Rest in peace if you are.
All right. Yeah, we are assholes. All right. So looking forward to that. Amsterdam's coming out this week. Hellraiser is going to be coming out on Hulu this week. I'm getting in the Halloween spirit. Today's October 1st, right? Halloween's official start date is October 1st, right? That's basically the Halloween season, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of September, but not really, right? Like nobody really.
So the orange is coming out.
The orange is starting to peak a little bit
Actually, yeah,
you know,
we had
in
a few
September.
a few of the JV soccer girls that were
Yeah.
playing on the other. They were all in like their like PJs practicing yesterday because it was so cold. But
Yeah.
it was all Halloween based.
Oh, okay. Cool,
Now
cool.
it makes sense when you said that because I was looking at them like, why are they all orange?
Way to put two and two together.
Right.
Yeah, you really were ahead of the game there.
But I heard you guys talking about Hellraiser and in the last
last week,
episode,
yeah.
and Orain wasn't really like.
No, he wasn't really into Hellraiser. You know what? I don't blame him either because I watched the movie plenty of times. Still have no idea why the fucking like what the point of the movie is.
I
Like,
don't
it's
think
just,
there really is a point.
No, which is what my problem is.
Yeah.
It's just like Jason, Freddy. At least
I mean,
it
what
might
was it?
be
It was
stupid.
80s, right? It was 80s that the original
I believe
one.
87
Yeah.
is literally the year of my birth.
That was a prime like the
Campy,
age of like campy. Don't have a
weird,
whole like
yeah.
focus of what's going on in this movie.
No,
the plot
I would
line
argue
is kind of weird.
I would argue Hellraiser was a notch above the rest in
Really?
how much it didn't make any sense. Freddy, Jason,
Yeah.
Michael, all these other horror movies.
A little bit of a backstory to it. Yeah.
Something you could at least think
Yeah.
about, holding on to as far as like
Mhm.
a coherence. Hellraiser just dudes just show up like, yo, sup?
I mean,
Came to fuck shit up. Like,
That's kind of the point, though. Like,
I don't understand the point then. Like I understand that it's not supposed to like make too much sense, but I still revel in how much it doesn't make any sense. Like there's just nothing there to like hold on to as far as like a real true like plot.
yeah, but this is the type of movie where like you just don't need a plot, man. You just sit down to watch some gory stuff, and that's it.
Even as a kid, I still was like,
Yo,
I
are
need
you expecting?
something
But are you expecting an actual plot
in this.
to 2022's?
This I'm
Hellraiser?
expecting something to be more of a story to hold on to. Like even if it's like the person's, and maybe that's what I
who's
didn't.
the
It's been
writer
a
on
long
this?
time. I have no idea. You can look that up. It's been a long time since I've actually sat down and watched Hellraiser, so I don't know if I go back, whoever's not the symbiotes or cellulots or whatever the fuck their name is.
Symbiotes.
Isn't that their names? The celtoids. What is there?
I don't know. It just sounds
Altoids?
Really
I don't
funny.
know.
Yeah, that's the one right there. Altoids.
The Altoids. The person who wasn't them, the human person who's just like, oh shit, I found this box, maybe they had more of a storyline that I just didn't follow or care about or pick up on that I'm missing here. And I'm guessing that that's going to be different this time around with these.
I'm curious, like if it was one of those, it had a point to make about something that was going on at the time, like a political.
It's
point,
been a
social
long
point.
time since
I haven't
I've
seen it since like the 90s.
Exactly.
it's
So
been
I feel like I need
forever.
to go back and actually investigate. And I probably will this Halloween season. I've been thinking about putting something together where we do like some sort of like movie night or some shit like that.
Let's do it.
I think I'm gonna miss that. So I think I'll try to put something like that on this particular year.
Patrick
for Halloween.
Luzier. I'm gonna
Is the writer for this new.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but
Yeah,
he did the Purge TV series,
Yeah.
Into the Dark, Scream, Drive Angry. So
Yeah.
a lot of gory kind of films that don't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Drive Angry was stupid.
Yeah.
I watched that, and that was just Nicolas Cage and what's her face? She's been in the news with Johnny Depp.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, Amber Heard. Yeah, like the movie made no sense. It was
That's
just
fine.
dumb.
They make a lot of movies that don't make any sense. Okay, so yeah, we've got that coming out. So the next week, the end to the epic trilogy, Halloween Ends, is going to be premiering. Why do you laugh? You laughed. You
Do we
laughed a little too
really
hard.
think it's gonna end? Do we at this
At least
point?
this trilogy? Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis is probably not going to come back for another fucking Halloween. So
Oh, she
I'm
will
pretty sure
end
this
up
is-
being a
Oh.
bad guy in the future in one of the other ones. Like she will be
No.
85 playing somebody who walks really slow and can barely lift their hand.
What is that? I don't know what that is. That a horror person? Is that who is that? Who are you describing right now? What is that? Is that a
No.
villain? Did you just describe?
She is the new villain that's gonna be when she's 85 in 20 years when they
I
start
feel
rebooting
like this is like
this.
racial discrimination here.
Absolutely not.
You're like just because somebody's old means that they're the villain because that's what you just said. That's what you just said. Yeah, let's marinate. on
Isn't
that,
Michael Myers old though?
bud. First of all, who the fuck knows, right?
I mean, at this point, he's got to be old.
I guess in this one, he's supposed to be old. But they could make Michael Myers whatever fucking age they want to make him, right? He's wearing a mask 90% of the fucking
Yo, is it
movie.
the same actor?
Actually, in this one, yes, it was actually the original actor. Yeah. So they brought him
Interesting.
back
All right, cool.
for this one.
I still won't watch it, but
Yeah, you're not a fan of
no,
Halloween.
absolutely
Why not? Weren't you a fan of Halloween?
The first two, okay. After that, I was just like, whatever. It just didn't.
Me and my siblings grew up on Halloween, so I cannot deny this Halloween.
Yeah, I used to love anything like Stephen King that they would make, TV series or things like that.
So like Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery.
Or
what was it? Oh my god, even cheesier stuff than that, like Maximum Overdrive or Langoliers.
Yo, talk about a stupid movie.
Stupid movie, yeah. Langoliers scared me when I watched it because I was watching it, I'm like, yo, we're about to fly to America, and I'm watching this plane disappear into this dimension with these eating things. It scared the crap out of me as a kid.
On that plane shaking.
I was, man. That was my first flight too, and everything.
Yeah, the first thing of turbulence. You were like, oh no, here we go. Oh no.
Terrible thing to let me watch as a kid right before my first international flight.
Yikes! Yeah, your parents didn't give a fuck, dude. They were like, all right, whatever. Have at it, Hoss. Yeah. So, Halloween Ends is going to come out next week. I was talking to Irene about this last week, obviously. What's your Halloween go-to?
It Follows. I texted you guys.
Okay. What was it before It Follows?
That was it?
No. There was a life before It Follows.
I thought you were talking about the text.
No. There was a life before that. So I'm asking what was before It Follows.
So I would constantly watch Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship. What the fuck is that?
You ever seen Ghost Ship? Where they
sounds extremely generic.
Super generic.
Ghost
you would see it on Sci-Fi Channel all the time. Ghost Ship. Yeah, it was. They found this ship on their radar, and they go inspect it, and it's this old ship that disappeared, and it's haunted by this little girl who survived this. Spoiler alert. Survived this decapitation event on this ship, and she was the only one there. Hey, who cares? It's still a good movie to watch. That was every single Halloween. I would watch that.
Yeah.
It scared me. It scared me, even as a preteen. It scared me.
Yeah.
Before that, I don't think I was really that much into Halloween movies. I mean, I guess the original Halloween, we'd always pop that on, but I had a little brother and he wasn't really into it, and he was into the Hocus Pocus stuff, and we'd watch family Halloween movies.
You say that so disparagingly. I guess
Hocus Pocus is great
really
though.
Into.
I'm not gonna watch a new one, but I like the old one.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2, which I think we got wrong last week. I think that actually is coming out on streaming platforms. I think it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it is. Disney Plus, yep.
Okay. How do the girls feel about
they love it.
They love Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. So absolutely. You know the girls. So absolutely. So in my younger days, it was family fun Halloween movies, then started getting into the more creepy stuff. Yeah. Like I said, my favorite one, It Follows. I watch that every single Halloween. It's just creepy fun, man. I love it. You haven't seen it, right?
Wait, which one?
It Follows.
No, I have.
I've seen
It Follows.
Okay, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
And I love the fact that it was super low budget. They had nothing to work with other than just the idea, so I loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid a little bit though when you really think about all the ways you can avoid the it in this situation.
How can you though? You got to live your life. You got to work.
Yeah,
can't keep running from it.
Hey man, what is it going to do? Is it going to buy a plane ticket and just catch me overseas?
Goes through the water.
It's just going to walk.
Well, it's it. So yeah,
thousands of miles.
Absolutely.
Okay, fine. Every 2 or 3 months, just take the plane right back. And it's just turning directions.
Mr. Who just said, I'm not rich. I can't afford to go to Asia.
Hey, man.
You'd be dead on your first hop over to Italy.
Hey, look, we can do some strange things for some change,
Oh, my God.
Hey, man.
Get the lotion ready.
Hey. And that's what we call a callback. Yeah, that's a callback.
It just fell into place. Man. It was perfect.
Things just fall into place nicely sometimes. So anyways, okay. So that's good to know. About what movies you
I mean, there's a couple of gory movies that I do like that in recent years.
Movie, yeah.
It's a a horror comedy, but shoot, was it Ready or Not? I think it was with with Adam Brody from the OC. He was in that.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about the one where the woman's like, she's
invited over to the family. They have to play the game and everything.
Yeah,
super fun, gory, like
haven't seen it. I was meant to
movie.
see that one.
It's super fun, man. Like it's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like that one. Was it? It's not Your Next, or it might actually be Your Next. That one I enjoyed a lot. Where the family, they go out into the cabin and all of a sudden these people in like animal masks and stuff are attacking them.
Yeah.
Love that movie too. That was nice.
Okay, that doesn't sound like a that sounds like a little bit more serious.
More of a thriller kind of thing.
Gotcha,
But
okay. You made it sound like it's like a wholesome family affair.
It came out around the same time in October, so I'll watch it. Maybe even November. I don't know.
Fair enough. Let's just jump into some other shit happening. Bruce Willis becomes the first Hollywood actor to sell his the rights to his to the possibility of a digital twin.
Deep fake.
Yeah, apparently he sold his likeliness to the U.S. firm Deep Cake. All right. Yeah, we really.
I visited a site like that once, and it wasn't about.
Yeah, no, I would assume. Yeah. Okay, we'll just leave that alone. According to the Telegraph, with the use of deepfake technology, Willis has offered his likeliness to be used on screen for future projects. Following his first experience with the digital media manipulation in a commercial for Russian phone service Megaphone.
Interesting.
Last year.
He's involved with the Russians.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is because of his mental decline and his medical situation going on, where he's no longer going to be doing acting gigs, like major acting gigs, because he's
but why would you? You're not. No. Why would you? Because you're not really going to be acting in.
But you sell your likeness and then it's your face on there.
But I think you just sell it for the one time. You don't get like residuals, I'm assuming.
I don't know, but I mean, think of it like this though: if he's acting in a movie, he still goes through with a whole production, but he's having that mental decline. He can't, put forth the best effort. They can use a deep fake in certain scenes, to get him to look like he's saying the right stuff. I'm just spitballing here, man. I'm just spitballing here. Get your money when you can, man. It's okay.
I'm not mad at him. So
he's got like 3 ex-wives and like 4 kids. So
does he have 3? I think it's just the one, right?
Was it
more? Right? Or unless he married somebody else that I don't know about, which is possible.
Clearly. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce.
He's gonna hear this, like, you son of a bitch, Addy. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with Bruce Willis doing this, and I have no idea what his motivations were for doing it. You might very well be right, might be wrong, I don't know. But I do think this is very dangerous. This whole shit about deepfake is very dangerous because what I think it does is it blurs the line between reality and fiction, right?
Oh yeah.
In that, well, at this rate, it's just like, okay, well, do we even need the fucking whatever actor that we, want in our movie? Do we actually need them to sign their name on the dotted line to be in this movie? I don't think so. Deepfake it.
Yeah, but you would need their signature to deepfake it because you're going to use their likeness to make
money. How close does it have to be? Like, what if it's like Jennifer Lawrence's face, but like kind of not Jennifer Lawrence's face?
Are you talking like how they did in Looper, where Bruce Willis and what's his face?
JGL.
Yeah, they like kind of reconstructed Bruce Willis's nose onto
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Like, do we really need you here?
You could have just technically had Joseph Gordon-Levitt play the older version of Bruce Willis if you're gonna reconstruct the nose.
Exactly. So it's like, why are we
just shave the head and you're
what
good
are
to
we
go.
doing here? And so. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just opens up kind of a Pandora's box of scenarios. And that Pandora's box basically is already open anyways, but it's normalizing it of just like, oh no, this is something we're going to adapt with and we're just going to have to work around. It's just I don't know. This is all kind of fucked up.
I do watch a lot of like true crime stuff.
Sure.
And this is a huge problem. I mean, like people are like taking, because there's like websites where people will do this for you.
Yeah.
They just have you submit somebody's photo and they're like, hey, like I want to see so-and-so like, frame by frame doing acts, and like it ruins people's lives, man. I mean, it's
it's like when somebody says something really stupid, sometimes it's hard to disprove what they're saying because it's just so dumb that you're just like, how the fuck do I disprove this argument even though it's massively stupid, right? Because you're just like, I don't know how to. So that's what I feel like this deepfake situation becomes. It's like, Well, then you have to prove that it's not you. Like the burden of proof then is on you to prove. And then it's like,
it's
well, how
difficult.
the fuck do I go about doing it? Now I got to find where I was. I got to find people or other footage to like corroborate.
Oh, dude, there's a recent story of a mom who went through that with her daughter. I think she might have been in high school. Her daughter.
I think I heard a little bit about
and
this.
And it ended up being like another mom who was doing it because like the two girls were like cheerleaders. I was like, yo, that is rough.
What is your life
petty?
look like?
Like
it's for cheerleading. I'm gonna like fucking go through all this. That's
I mean,
crazy.
I will say this, man. Like having seen how parents now act as a coach of a high school team.
Yeah.
Yo, they must not really have stuff going on in their lives, and this is what they hang their hats on. And if their son or daughter doesn't do the right thing, or they see you as the coach not letting their child play, or it gets bad, man.
Yeah.
You need to divorce yourself from like your child's high school like sporting events that they do, and just enjoy the fact that they're playing.
Bro, I am so lazy. And I just could not bring myself, I'm going to go fucking find a photo of this person or a photo of a random person. Then I'm going to deep fake this other person.
Yeah.
There's nothing I care about that much, dude.
It's some people.
Yo, I'm tired just
bored.
Thinking about it. I was like,
bored.
Oh, God, dude.
Some people are
I'd rather just sleep or watch a show. I just want to rest, okay? I don't have time to do this shit.
Yo, they deep fake Rogers in that State Farm commercial. He's got his backup practicing for him.
They probably did. Yeah. I'm sure he sold his likeliness, and he only, he sold it for like Bitcoin or some shit,
Probably.
I'm sure. But anyways, yeah, weird story. But we'll see that where that.
Yeah, watch us revisit this in the first Bruce Willis deep fake movie when it comes out.
Oh God, I don't want to watch that. That's going to be not great because the Bruce Willis movies were already shaky.
And do you like deep fake him to the current Bruce Willis or like the younger Bruce Willis?
I guess the younger Bruce Willis.
The element Bruce Willis with the weirard hair, like what you doing?
Yeah.
So many possibilities, man.
Dude, what have you been watching lately? Have you been watching Lord of the Rings?
No, absolutely. I've watched nothing.
Yeah.
So Rachel actually recently started watching it, and I caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah,
and actually it didn't look too bad. So I might check that out. No, I've just been watching stuff that's already been out and canceled. I've been watching MacGyver, the reboot of it. I don't know why I started. Well, actually, there is one very large, voluptuous reason why I started watching it.
I'm sorry, did you just
yes, I did. Yes,
reason?
There was one reason why I started watching it, and
I'm not sure if I want to hear how this.
I continue to watch it for her, but I've kind of liked it.
Addy, if we're starting to talk about how if this story ends with you with a bottle of lotion yourself,
no lotion, man, no lotion.
Right. Fair enough.
Free solo, just go at it.
Moving on, very quickly.
No, so to answer your question, no, I haven't been watching anything new recently. I did start up Ted Lasso, just the whole soccer thing, and it's fun. It's cute.
Yeah, have you been not to immediately switch lanes because I think I do. Genius or stupid?
I mean, when you've got like Fox News talking
writing
about
articles and shit.
I think it's pretty genius.
Right. Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the biggest news network in the world, and they're doing it.
The problem was at first nobody knew that that's what it was for. And
but
so it was just like this weird ass woman just staring.
I know, just staring,
super
and smiling,
fucking creepily into the fucking camera. I say genius.
I think
I
so,
say genius.
Man. I think so. People like creepy. They do, regardless if you don't want to admit to it. You do because I
don't know. We're gonna talk about the Jeffrey Dahmer thing later, so I don't know.
But think about it though. If it's on your screen,
actually that goes with your argument because apparently people can't get enough of that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like it makes you question.
Sure.
What the fuck did I just see?
Yeah.
Like they even did it in like the Purge movies, where they have like people in a mask and just like the big smiley faces, and it's creepy.
Yeah,
especially when it's a white person just.
Yeah, what if they just like
smiling at you?
What if they just start catching people with doing this, and they're like, "Oh, you must be with the smile movie," and they're like, "What movie?" He's like, "Whoa, dude."
I mean, how would you react? You walk into a place somewhere, and you just have a random white girl just smiling at you.
Dude, I'll take any. this is gonna sound racist as fuck. Any other race other than some white woman
Exactly,
staring at me. No, we are turning right the fuck around.
Yeah, that's not part.
Leaving
not
that.
for
That's
us.
not for me, yo.
Babe,
It's
let's
not
go.
for me. We're
Babe,
leaving
let's go and don't smile at me the whole ride home.
immediately, dude. And I'll kick her out the car. I'll kick her the fuck out the car as it's moving. We're just get the fuck out.
Don't
you know?
smile. Don't smile.
No. Yeah.
Genius,
you just,
man. It's genius marketing.
Yeah.
It absolutely
I think it's great
is.
marketing, dude.
Now
yeah.
I hope the hype is good around.
Probably not.
No?
When you need to go through these hoops, probably not. Right.
It's either ingenious because you know it's good, or ingenious because it is bad, and that's all you.
No,
have
and
your
also
head to have on.
like watching the trailer for the movie, it's just like there's no part of me that really thinks that this is because just even the concept of people are smiling and it's super creepy and it's like something sinister. There's like the actual plot behind it. There's just I'm very much racking my brain of like what could it be that what iteration of that would be like good.
See, I'm hoping it's like kind of like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where like when you watch a trailer for Forgetting Sarah Marshall, like it did not look like it was going to be a fun movie. Like it had a couple of like laughs within the trailer, but then you watch the whole movie and it's like it's funny throughout the whole thing.
Always the possibility for that to be the case. I'll never say like before watching something, I'll never say that, oh man, like I know it's going to be trash. I have a feeling that it might be trash. Who knows? Because people can make very weird ideas fucking awesome, right? We've seen it done time and time before where something, the synopsis for it or the trailer for it just like
the movie
horrible. Rubber.
Oh my god, you've never seen Rubber?
I have no idea what the fuck that is. Stop naming movies I haven't watched.
You've never seen Rubber?
Describe like
the tire that goes around killing people.
I have not.
Yo, you gotta see Rubber.
Okay. All right, I'll put it on my list.
Great movie to watch for Halloween. Just watch it, man. Okay. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
So well done.
I did watch Toxic Avenger the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. I have such a fond and I have such a soft spot for it. It's such a bad movie. I can't really stress how terrible this movie
I have not watched it, but I've seen a trailer.
Love it.
And I didn't want to watch it.
It's so stupid, and just everything about it is just campy as fuck. But when you grow up on something, you just grow up on it, and that's the thing. You can't really fucking.
I've never watched it.
Yeah,
I've wanted to, but then
at a certain age, there's just no point.
Yeah, like I remember the trailer, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to sit through this.
No, you don't. It's if you don't have any nostalgia for it, then there is no purpose.
Never seen it, so I don't think I'll ever go through it.
Yeah,
but I have heard people talk about it the exact same way that you do. It's like it to some people, it's just a cult classic.
It is. That's
for
all,
no reason other than nostalgia.
I mean, I'm sure there's some people who think it's like a good movie, but it's just everything about it is just not great. But I've been, and I've mentioned this many times on the podcast, but I've been digitizing old VHS tapes. In fact, I've got, they're actually sitting like right behind me. So all these movies of just like weird fucking B movies, like especially like action movies, just weird.
Every
fucking,
Van Damme movie in
basically
the 80s and 90s.
Not even that. Like I'm talking about more deep cuts than that of just like what's it called? The Best of the Best, I believe is like an action movie. Is like basically like dudes who just do karate. And like, there's really no other plot to it other than just do karate. Like karate, yeah, like fuck it. Or American Ninja.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yep, I do.
Yeah. So
they really made no
no plot to that either.
But I will watch it if it's on like ABC or something.
I can't really watch it, dude, because I remember as a kid I never really watched that. It was always just kind of on, and I always just like just caught it like midway through, and I lost nothing of the plot.
They'll still play it. Like Freeform will play it.
Yeah, well, I don't have to wait for anybody to play it now. I have the digitized version of it. Don't come after me, whoever still owns the rights to that movie.
Nobody
blame
owns it anymore.
It's just floating out there. Nobody wants to pick up the rights. It's like,
it's like when you need to fill space, during the daytime. All right, just put that on.
American Ninja, throw it on. Yeah, man. Anyways, of the things that I'm watching, that's a good segue into the things I'm watching right now. I'm just catching back up on this past week has been stupid busy, so I just have not been able to like watch it. But I have been catching up on House of Dragon. I did catch up on She-Hulk. I've been trying to watch Rick and Morty, but I talked about this last week. Apparently Cartoon Network isn't offered on these very fucking expensive cable platform that I have.
Part of is it part of HBO?
Cartoon Network?
Yeah, they all got packaged in together with when the rights were bought out.
I don't know. Is that what happened? Is that why I no longer can fucking watch?
I'm fairly certain I sent you guys like the information.
Oh, you probably did, and I definitely did not open that link. Just FYI.
I don't think it was. No, yeah, Cartoon Network is part of Warner Brothers, which is under Discovery and merged with HBO.
So unless I get HBO,
Discovery Plus, is what you would need.
I have Discovery Plus.
Yeah, that's the actual streaming service now.
I'm not doing that.
No, it's pointless.
Yeah.
For one show. Nobody else cares about like
not just for the one show, but for the fact that I already have HBO Max.
Right.
I'm not also
I know
getting
they make you
Discovery Plus.
It's the worst.
And because I can get Rick and Morty on HBO Max, I just don't get the new episodes.
Right.
And so and first of all, Discovery Plus. What am I going to fucking watch? Dr. Pimple Popper? Is that what I'm going to do? I'm going to catch up on episodes of. I'm just using that as an
because it's a. Not to go off on a tangent, but it was so funny when I was reading the article about Dr. Pimple Popper and why people weren't watching it, but they watched all her pimple popping videos. It's because there's only so many pimples you can pop for a 30-minute episode of something. And, she runs a dermatologist office, so she does like other things. And people didn't want to watch the other things. They just wanted to see pimples popped. And it got terrible ratings.
Yeah,
I could have told the producers like that's what was going to happen.
I don't know whose idea this was. Clearly, a very stupid idea, but I'm not going to get fucking Discovery Plus to watch all these TLC shows. Like I don't give a shit about any of those shows. So
okay, I was wrong. There's apparently 8 seasons of it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Jeez, who was watching that show? I watched the first 2 episodes, and it was terrible.
They're all, there's like 50 episodes per season. Of course,
yeah. It's insane. Yeah, it's a total of 70 episodes right now.
Drive-in, diners, drive-ins, and dives, right? Like,
I'll watch that all day, man.
Of course, yeah.
It's
but
food.
There's 9,000 seasons, and all of them have 8,000 episodes. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how they.
And then like you look up the place and you're like, oh yeah, it's been closed for like 5 years. I'm like, yo, you had me salivating over this cheesesteak, and now I can't even get it.
The show is from what, like, dude? I want to say like
it's early,
mid to early or late 2000s. It's had to be sort of the start of the show. So they've been going basically like 10, 15 years. The show has been going on.
Yeah, Guy Fieri has like made a career for himself.
The people who are part of that production has made a career for themselves because they're like, dude, are we coming back for season 28?
Yep. 419 episodes, 35 seasons.
Yo, somebody getting paid.
2006 is when it officially. And it was a spinoff off of something else.
Yeah, I feel like I saw him on something else, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you look fucking weird."
And like I've read like some of the like the behind the scenes of it. Where it's like he just literally shows up for like 10 minutes, tastes the food, makes a couple of comments, and leaves.
The fuck out.
And then they do the exterior shot of him driving, and that's it. He gets 20 minutes. Like,
he just comes in,
he gets paid.
pinches some flour, some shit. I'm like, oh yeah,
this is a good mashed potato right here. Yeah,
did you make this flour yourself? All right, we're out here. Like, what the fuck? All right.
Hey, it's good for business, man.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. But anyways, man. So I haven't. My goal this coming week, because I'm gonna have a little bit more time, is to actually sit down and start watching some of this shit. So I might watch Hellraiser during the day. I just talked to my little sister about this. No longer into watching horror movies at night by myself. Not gonna happen.
Why is that?
What do you mean? Why? What kind of stupid question is that, Addy? The fuck?
It's the only time you watch horror movies.
No, absolutely not. What the fuck?
You want to be scared.
Addy,
preferably with a gummy in your system. Imagine that, man. That'd be fun.
Dude.
That'd be fun, man.
No, First of all, I think I'm retired from gummies. Okay, first of all,
You'll never be retired.
I'm retired from gummies. I was actually just thinking about this earlier. It was either earlier today or yesterday. I had this exact thought. I said, I'll smoke weed, not all day long because I have a life.
And a job.
Yeah, I got responsibility.
Dogs
What
need to
did what did Chucky say on or what did the Rugrats say? They're like responsibilities or whatever the fuck they say. I've got that. That's what I got, right? And so yeah, definitely can't smoke all day long, but I'll smoke first. Yeah. No, I think I'm done with the gummies, dude, because I think that was like my worst experience ever was with the gummy. And I was thinking, and then the thought I had was, I think I like smoking much more because the high is more immediate and leaves you more quickly, right? Gummy is just like,
when it hits, it hits. But when it hits hard.
Dude, it's like, we'll see when this ends. I don't know. It could be now. Could be 10 hours from now. I don't know. We'll see.
That's why I only take it before bed, man. You know?
Dude.
I take it like 2 hours before bed. And then I lay down. I'm reading a random ass article. And then I feel it hit. And I'm like, all right, this is
time
it.
To go.
This is it. Put the phone down. Just enjoy. Close my eyes. Whatever happens.
Jesus Christ. Sounds like an experiment.
I might do this watching Smile, you know. I might do that.
Fuck no. Oh God, that'd be so creepy. Then I just be looking at everybody. Oh God, stop smiling at me.
You'd be like Smokey when he had that bad
in the chicken coop. Yeah. Fucking twitching all day long. That's who I felt like. I felt like Smokey. I was like, I ain't been right since.
Look, when you were telling the story, that is the only image I had in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the nearest chicken coop? That's where Tunde's at.
Yeah. So yeah.
Which is side note, it is allowed in Baltimore City.
What is?
You can have
chicken
livestock.
Coops? Yeah. It's like, wait, what? How did you?
I don't know why I know this.
Okay,
but it's allowed.
Moving the fuck on. Okay, I don't know how we got there, but I thought you were gonna be like, like edibles or some shit, like
chicken coops.
Just okay, cool.
Livestock. I think you can have pigs and like lambs and stuff. Yeah. I don't know why I looked this up. I have no idea why.
Let's just move on, dude. That's all I got here. I don't have anything else. We are providing bad TV right now because I don't know where to go with this.
This is knowledge that one day you'll be at a trivia night and you'll be able to pull it off. You're like, yo, Addie told me about it. No,
I will forget about this immediately upon this podcast. I will forget you ever said that. Okay, so it truly has no use for me. Okay. All right, let's get to some of these, or do we have some other things we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about anything else? You know what? We usually do this first, and we never really get here, right? Mm-hmm. We always do the trailers before we get to the other discussions. Yeah. I want to reverse it. I want to talk about the other things first, and then if we get to the trailers, we get to the trailers,
I like that.
Because I'm tired of naming an episode something and then not getting to the thing that we actually like. We did that.
What's this one named?
This one is named
Brain Eaters. I don't know.
No, this episode I can tell you here in a sec the method. Because we were going to talk about method at some point here. But last week was called it was something about the nudity, the fall of nudity.
Yeah, and then you ended up skipping the.
And then we just didn't talk about the fucking story. Now so I have to go back and fucking amend the title. So okay, let's talk about Dahmer. Okay, let's get to this. So there's two separate things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about this article that came out from IndieWire.
Yep.
In which they talk about a specific a PA that worked for the production and who talked about her experience working on the production. There's that, and then there's the actual conversation about should we be fucking having Jeffrey Dahmer have yet another fucking story on a large streaming platform, right? Which one do we want to attack first?
I want you to just start your thoughts on both, because I have some very specific thoughts on the article, the
story,
and let me just have you go first.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start here. So basically, this woman, who's a production assistant on the show, Netflix's show Dahmer, basically she put a post out on social media, and now to her credit, I don't think she was just putting out her experience. She didn't really, I don't think she was calling for it to be like a spotlight to be on her. She was just saying, hey, this is how I felt about this situation. Now, I don't know if it's as a consequence of the article, like in terms of just maybe the article is just written in a kind of a more of a, dare I say, lazy way, or
very passive.
Or if it's a consequence of this was just truly your experience. But basically, they were like, she put out this. Let me not put words into her mouth. Let me actually read what she said. Kim Alsop, a production assistant on the show, recently slammed the series in a tweet alleging that she was treated poorly on set and experienced subtle forms of racial discrimination. I worked on this project, and I was one of two black people on the crew, and they kept calling me her name. Alsop wrote, we both had braids. She was dark skinned and 5'10". I'm 5'5". Working on this took everything I had, as I was treated horribly. I look at the black female lead differently now too. I believe that was the original tweet, unless I'm mistaken. And I guess in a subsequent interview with LA Times, she elaborated on which she called the experience she called exhausting. It was one of the worst shows that I've ever worked on. I was always being called someone else's name, the only other black girl who looked nothing like me, and I learned the names of 300 background extras. The experience was so unpleasant for Alsop that Alsop has no desire to watch the show. And so basically, that's basically it. So when I was reading that, I was like, I'm not trying to take away from her experience, right? Because her experience is her experience, right? If she had a shitty time on the show, she had a shitty time on the show. But there are kind of like, to me, there's like two things happening there, right? Like, you're talking about like a Hollywood show. So if you're a production assistant, I'm going to just take a wild stab at it. Probably not going to be treated that well, period. Yeah. I don't imagine that they're going beyond the, their way to like make sure that PAs have a good experience. In fact, I would argue that it's like a known thing that PAs just get treated like shit. I'm not saying that's right. In fact, any production that I'm involved with, I always like making sure everybody feels good, everybody's treated great, but I just don't think that that's like a thing that is like
especially
uncommon for production assistants to be treated like shit. And then there's the situation of not remembering her name. I mean, no doubt, I think that's like kind of like a subtle form of racial discrimination. Just in general, it's like, oh, you blacks all look alike, whatever, right? Talisha or whatever her name is, and he's like, well, I'm not Talisha. That's the other person standing right over there, right? Mm-hmm. That I get. Is that enough for me to then raise it as a thing, be like, oh, well, this is one of the worst experiences I've ever had? If that's the only example that I have of the thing being horrible.
Do we know what led to her tweeting? Like, was it a conversation that she was having with somebody online about the show?
No, well, I think the show. I have no idea. I think the show just came out, and she just maybe saw.
I know. I saw it because I'm looking at the tweet, and it was just the trailer, and then she replies to the trailer.
Yeah. I think it was just.
I have to think there was more, because the article itself doesn't really dive into.
That's why I started by saying maybe they just missed asking her, hey, what else happened on this fucking show that made you feel like this?
It doesn't seem like the article itself, like they really delved into it.
Seemed like they weren't terribly interested.
Yeah, unless that was it. It's either that's it, that was the only thing. You would just call a different person's name.
In which, I mean, look,
it's annoying.
That could be annoying, right? Is that enough for me to then tweet out, hey, I had a horrible experience on the show. I've never had enough. I can't even watch the show because it was so it's like PTSD. No, my name is Tunde. People get it wrong. Forget there being another Tunde or being somebody else who's black who they misname me. Half the time, my mom calls me my brother. You know what I mean? Like,
and you guys actually do look alike. Somewhat.
Everybody says that. I don't know about that. I think he got all the handsome
if
genes.
You get start calling Lorraine, then we'd be like, all right, come on
now. What are we doing here, guys? But I just don't know, man. Like, if that's the only thing that happened, that you're like, I don't want to be the one to try to diminish somebody's experience. But come on, man. Like, there's you got to develop at least some thick skin here in terms of, and I'm not, again, not trying to say somebody should not express how they feel. And honestly, this is like fucking Twitter. So it's like, whatever. That's how I was feeling in the moment. I just tweeted out. I felt like it was a shitty experience, so I tweeted it out. But if you're gonna tweet that out, and then if you're gonna double down when they then follow up with you and be like, okay, well, tell us about more, and
give
you're
some
like
substance, like tell us.
Then you're like, let me just
what
repeat
happened.
that exact same thing that honestly is not that big of a fucking deal. Then
the feel that I got from it when I first started seeing this pop up online was it almost seems like she was just having a bad day, and she tweeted this.
And now she's having to kind of like double down.
Exactly.
They're talking about it.
Because I've done that. I've had a bad day where I've said something that I really just didn't like intend to be like a big thing, but it turned into a big thing. And then I was like, ah, crap. Like
now you got to follow up.
Exactly.
And figure it out. Yeah.
I'm with you on this. Like, I mean, we've got 24 kids on our varsity soccer team. We've got 24 on our JV.
Hmm?
Yeah, I get their names confused all the time. All the time.
Black, white.
It was funny because like our other coach too, like he was like, yo, Kyle, you take it, and like Kyle's sitting next to him, and he was talking about
Kyle's like, he's fucking up, no.
Granted, Kyle is like 6'4", skinny, and he's trying to talk to this Wyatt kid who's like 5'5", like tiny and on the field.
Your kids on Front Street. They're gonna listen to this podcast.
Yo, my kids are awesome, man. Yeah, Wyatt's the man, Kyle's the man. Yo, Kyle had a hat trick on 3 headers. You don't get that.
I don't want to talk about soccer, Addy.
Well, I'm excited about my kids. Okay, man. I'm repping the Havre de Grace, you know.
Jesus Christ,
but no, I didn't get a whole lot out of this. I don't know why it was a big thing. I mean, I guess I see it in today's environment, but if you're gonna say this,
if we're gonna write an article about this,
like who cleared this? Who cleared this article?
Even if you were like, even if that was the person's experience, right? Even if that was Kim's experience, right? Kim Alsop. If you're writing the fucking article, you have to be like writing and like, wait, that's all that happened?
Yeah, like did we not follow up with the other black girl? Like, did she have the same experience too?
No,
like,
what I'm saying is, like, regardless,
is there anything else to it?
Yeah, regardless of if that was somebody else's experience, whatever the case is, if you go to Kim and she's like, oh yeah, that's like I don't have anything else to offer you as far as like specific things that might have happened that can act as like microaggressions or whatever the case is. If there's like, because I'm with you, like, okay, fine, if that was your experience, you had a horrible time on the show, all right, I'm willing to take your word for that.
Have that. Yeah,
you shouldn't have that, but also you got to hit me with something.
Yeah, like who's the editor-in-chief of IndieWire who like read this article?
Like, you know,
because like when I got to the bottom of this, I was like, that's it.
That's it. Like, that's the same exact feeling that I've had. Was like, this is what we're talking about here.
I don't know, man. I need more. I need more.
Yeah.
Like, I feel for you. It does suck. It's happened. Being a foreign person in America, people mess up my name all the time.
Now, the reason why I think that this particular article, I think my suspicion is that they're trying to take advantage of a moment with this article, right? Because I saw some things on social media that talked about the nature of the show itself, right? The fact that Jeffrey Dahmer, especially with the black community, is a pretty sensitive thing because of what he did, you know? And honestly, I don't know that much about Jeffrey Dahmer. All those fucking psychopaths, I really just try to kind of I shy away from those.
If you don't know what to look for, one of your friends might be one.
I can't ever find. You said, I might be one.
I mean, you might.
No, if you don't, I don't even know. Does that even make any sense? If you don't know what to look for, you might be the person.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to look for.
Yeah.
No, it's saying if you're like...
It'd be like if you don't know what a drunk looks like and you're constantly drinking and that's just the way you are.
Yeah, but
you might not know you're a drunk.
That's presupposing that I'm out stalking, you know,
I don't know
bars.
What you do at night.
Not on gummies. That's what I'm not doing, all
right? Let's hope not.
All right.
I don't want to get a phone call and be like, hey, this guy said he got gummies from you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm dropping the dime quick, too. You don't have to, like, fucking... I'm not fucking Frank Lucas, right? You don't have to like fucking try to grind me up. I'll immediately give up my suppliers. Yeah. So Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, his name, especially in, like I said, the black community, is I basically saw like some tweets and things like that, or maybe it was just like some Instagram post, basically talking about, hey, like, don't watch the show because of all the fucked up shit that Jeffrey Dahmer did to black dudes. And
would that prevent you from watching it?
So, good question. That's the question that I'm asking, essentially, is that should that, like, okay, this is more of a philosophical question, right? Does, for one, are they glorifying Jeffrey Dahmer? And if you watch it and you're like, oh, they're not necessarily glorifying him, they're just showing what kind of like a monster that he was, is even just making the thing itself glorifying him, because we've had an obnoxious amount of fucking Jeffrey Dahmer related material in the last like 3-4 years. And it's like, why? What are we doing? Like, do we not, we know the story. Like we after the first thing, we fucking get it. Psychopath. Yep. He led people to his house, killed them, chopped them up, ate them, rinse and repeat, right? We know the story. Why are we here again? Like, what is the thing we're getting out of this?
You'd be surprised how many people don't. And the fact that Netflix is pushing this so much, they realize that there is an audience that doesn't know about it.
But so I think that's sort of what I'm trying, the philosophical thing that I'm trying to get to here is,
do we reintroduce a new audience to
Are we trying to educate people on him, or are we basically just
a money grab?
A money grab, and also by proxy pushing his popularity.
Normalizing it?
Yeah, normalizing or increasing his footprint, right? In terms of,
I personally don't think so.
I mean, even alive anymore?
No, he's dead.
He's dead? Okay.
Yeah, well, I was reading an article about a guy who he was explaining why he killed him.
Was it like in jail?
It
had to be, right? Like they didn't let him out.
No, I would not think so.
Well, America probably would.
I don't know, man.
This good-looking white dude, let's just let him out on the streets. It's fine.
I was even telling you, like, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and a lot of the stuff that I listen to right now is like true crime detective kind of like stuff. And I did, like, when I watch documentaries, they're generally in this kind of like realm. It's all true crime. Like one of my all-time favorite shows is God, why am I blanking on it all of a sudden? It was on AMC. It was The Killing. And I loved it. It was the same kind of like feel, you know, you get that. It wasn't necessarily a serial killer until the second or third season. First 2 seasons, just fantastic acting. The storyline, loved it. Anyway, I love this kind of stuff. I don't know why. I just like,
love these type of stories.
Yeah, these type of stories. I don't necessarily like this kind of like production of it. I like the actual documentaries for it. You know, talking to some of the victims, some of the family members who knew this person, you know, and how it all evolved. A lot of the Ted Bundy stuff, the Zodiac killer stuff.
Yeah. What do you find alluring about it?
People are way too trusting of just everybody. Like, there's just some people who just cannot sense when something is off.
Yeah.
Or like they'll sense it and be like, oh, he's just a weird guy.
Yeah.
No. That's, you felt something and you should have ran for the hills.
That's tough too, though, man, because some people are just fucking weird. You know, like some people are just like quirky and just like do weird shit and like, but they're not like fucking psychopaths. You know?
True.
So it's like, I don't know. You know. Anyways, I think, I'm sorry. Let me let you finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I love it because it's it's unfortunately it's part of humanity, where we do have these people who do terrible things. I mean, I will watch international things, you know, from Europe. Man, like apparently like it's huge in England too, as small of an island as they are, with a huge population, where you have like just so many like serial killer stories dating all the way back to like Jack the Ripper, for example. I love it. I love to see like people's reactions to it, how people dealt with it. I'm not saying like I love it in terms of like I love seeing their suffering or anything like that. I just like seeing inside of a person's mind, not necessarily the person who committed the crimes. A lot of times, you know, that person is either in jail, not communicating, or dead. It's everybody else around them. I like the reality of it. You know, what happens to this family? How did the family move on? You know, was it a good outcome later on in life? You know, did they find some peace? You know, how did it lead? So I enjoy it, but I'm probably not going to watch the show, mainly because I know the Jeffrey Dahmer story. And from my understanding of it, a lot of it is fictionalized that they put through in this movie. So how accurate it is. I even read an IndieWire article recently that people were slamming them because they weren't pointing out inaccuracies in The Woman King. And I was like, well, it's a Hollywood production. Like, they're going to spice it up, like, why are you
I don't think that
mad?
people, like, I don't understand, like, when people are like, well, this wasn't accurate. That's like, it's.
Yeah, like one of my all-time favorite sport movies is The Greatest Game Ever Played with Shia, Even Stevens. You know, man. Yeah, exactly. Okay. They drew out, spoiler alert, they drew out his victory in like dramatic fashion, when in reality he won on the first, go around by like 5 strokes. Like, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
But, in the movie, you spice it up a little bit. You make it dramatic. You point out the family angle, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, like, it's for viewership, it's for entertainment purposes. But
and also
if you wanted
tell, like,
the real
a good
thing,
story.
exactly. If you wanted the real thing, you watch a documentary where they actually tell you.
Yeah, and I don't know why we don't act like we do this
for
every day in our lives.
Exactly.
Just, like
we spice up the stories.
We spice it up. You know what I mean? Like, you can't walk in and be like, yo, this is what this person did. Boom, we're out. Like,
exactly.
Fuck was that? Like, you don't even know pizzazz. There's no pauses, pregnant pauses in your speech. Like, what are you doing?
What was the lighting like?
Yeah, exactly.
Were they sweating when this was all happening?
Where was the sun at this time? Was it hitting it at a dramatic angle? Like, where was he? What
was the scene like? Were there cops on the scene?
Yeah,
like what was happening?
Give me some detail here. So anyways,
Lamar threw a touchdown. That's like imagine that. It's like, okay, great story.
That was a sharp turn. Yeah, it was a very sharp turn.
Do you want to know how he threw the touchdown?
Yeah, no, we need the drama.
Exactly.
Like we don't show stories of just like mundane shit, right? Like, even think about like reality TV, right? Like my significant other, she's really into watching the Kardashians right now. Why? Not the foggiest clue of exactly why she's into watching the Kardashians right now, but she is.
Like old stuff or new stuff?
Old stuff leading to the new stuff. Okay. She's like going through the whole gamut, which is a slog, dude, because there's 8,000 seasons. Yeah. If you want to talk about more than Dr. Pimple Popper, to be for sure, there's like,
which is funny because when they film those episodes, they have them come together for like an hour and then they leave.
For the Kardashians?
Yeah.
Again, how do you know this?
I don't know. I read a lot of stuff on Wikipedia that I probably shouldn't read.
Yeah, dude. Get off Wikipedia, dude. It's leading you down weird waters. So she's watching the Kardashians, and we've had like a conversation more recently about like when they say or do shit, like the reality of it, right? Like, they're talking about shit, but it's just like, man, like the reason why we're watching this is because it feels like high drama.
Yeah.
Right? In reality, for one, the thing that they're talking about is not fucking high drama. It's like, oh my God, Courtney lost her bag today. And it's just like, that's like the thing, like in the episode of, oh my God, where's the bag? Like,
which makes you think like, does nothing happen in your life other than you lost the bag?
Hey fam, that's what I was trying to tell her. I was like, yo, like, cause so the thing that kind of like made me laugh, cause I was listening to it as I was in the kitchen making some food. I was listening to the episode and she's like, I think it was not Courtney. Who's the tall one? There's Kim, Courtney, and the other one.
Was the one who was married to Lamar?
Lamar. Fuck, what's her name?
Why do we know his name and not her?
Courtney and Chloe.
Chloe.
That's her name. Yeah. So I think it was Chloe that was talking to him. Like, she was like moving or something like that, and then like maybe there was something wrong with like the place she was moving to. I don't know what the fuck the situation was, but she said the sentence, "I'm homeless," and I just remember just laughing like I went to say, "Shut the fuck up." Homeless, and then so my partner was like, well, technically she's actually right, and I was like, technically she
own across America,
not only just
the world.
Forget like, owning real estate.
What boat can she get on that she can live?
If you have money to just afford literally anything, then you're not homeless. There's no point in which
when your bank account can get you a room at the nicest hotel. Yeah, you're fine.
Oh man, the thing I wanted to do fell through. Fuck. All right, I got to do something else now. And it's like, okay, but you still have a fucking choice, right? Like
their lives are
it's something
so
different. Something different than I at that point I was just like, you know what? I'm just glad that I've experienced my experiences in life so that I would never utter that sentence in that scenario.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
There's been times
we was legit homeless.
Legitimate homeless, right? Like actually,
like under a fucking overpass, like all
no
our stuff.
fucking
Yeah.
where to go
We've been
here,
there.
you
Yep.
know? And so, yeah. So there's this difference between, like in order to like dramatize stuff, we have to be able to fucking make.
You have to, yeah.
You have otherwise, why is everybody tuning into it? Otherwise, all we need to watch are fucking documentaries.
Have you watched Mindhunter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my reading, like the background of it, the way that some of the people who were involved with the production and who were talking to some of the actual people who were involved in the original, they were like, yeah, it was a lot of just sitting at the desk and reading articles.
Yeah, there was no score in the background.
When we went to talk to these serial killers, it was pretty straightforward. We just asked the questions and they answered back and analyzed it. It wasn't like a deep, thought out conversation there.
Analyze this. And then he says the other thing that really made me think about this, and then I caught him in a lie, and we had an eye connection.
Like it's not like True Detective when that show came out. I have no doubt that. I'm sure a lot of it was like factually based on like how cops and detectives work.
Yep.
But there's no way that like who was the actor?
It was Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. I'm like, there's no way that whoever he was portraying, like they're supposed to be the real life person, acted the way he acted. Like no way.
No, or at least in a full like the full gamut
in the full,
of it.
Exactly. Maybe mannerisms, things like that, all cool, whatever.
Or maybe some parts of the story.
Exactly.
But you have to be able to dramatize stuff in order for it to be compelling TV.
Like
that's just storytelling fucking 101.
Yeah, my significant other, she gets annoyed at me when I laugh at like when they watch like a certain show, reality show that involves like younger people, teenagers and things like that, or young adults. And I'm just like, yo, that's not a real problem. And they're like, well, you weren't a teenage girl. You don't understand. And I'm like, did you act like that? Yeah. And they're like, well, maybe not exactly the way they did it in the scene. But I'm like, yeah, they got to dramatize that kind of stuff. They got to get you involved. Like, somehow, some way.
But it can be annoying though when you do see something that's just like that you connect with, and then somebody else just doesn't take it seriously, and you're like, "But bitch,
I can see that." Yeah,
hey, what the fuck?
That was the hardest time of my life when Kayla broke up with me,
and you just laughing through it, motherfucker.
And I was homeless for a minute when I left my house to cry.
Yeah. Yeah, when I heard that, I just started busting out laughing. I was like, "Yo, come on, yo,
because you weren't expecting her to say that."
I'm homeless. Get the fuck out of my face.
As you're filming in your home studio.
As you receive your check for the residuals of the show you're currently filming. They're like, well, we don't know where to send the check. And you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm homeless.
Direct deposit, guys. Direct deposit. Fuck. Anyways, back to this Dahmer situation. Look, I personally don't care for these type of things because I do think that there's a part of me that believes that it is sensationalized in a way, especially if you're telling me a story that nobody knew before, right? Something that's like new.
Sure.
That I get, and that I can like, okay, oh shit, here's some shit that we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on your 19th version of the same story you're retelling, you're not doing it to inform
it's
people.
Not like
you're
there's
just
new evidence coming out.
No,
somebody else's new story. It's
you just
want to
redo
recycled.
it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So when it comes to shit like that, I can see what people are saying by like, yo, don't fuck with that shit because it's not really like. Yeah. You're not really accomplishing anything here.
Right. This isn't like
ratings.
like people telling a new part of like what happened in World War I or World War II. Like there's much that you can pick out different things,
and you can find a story that within World War I or II or whatever the case is that like nobody knows.
Yeah,
about,
exactly.
Right? Or that very few people know about. With this is pretty fucking cut and dry. What the fuck happened here, right? And I'm not saying that there's not different like aspects you can like. Explore with it in terms of like, okay, shit, like his psychology, like what was he fucking, how the fuck did he get here?
How many times can you do this?
How many fucking times can you try to find another way into like, what the fuck was he thinking about? I don't know. Motherfucker was just crazy, like, yes, I'm sure he had some fucked up shit that probably happened to him or whatever the fucking case is. But anyways, so I watched actually a little bit of the show just to kind of like get a feel for it to like see what the fuck was dealing with. And yeah, I'm pretty torn in terms of the fact that I think that it might be sensationalistic, but also it's like.
How about the acting with Evan Peters? Because I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, he's creepy, no doubt,
which is
spot on. Right? Yeah. But I think it's hard for me to move past. It was hard for me to move past what I was trying to figure out what they were trying to do, and that painted how I felt about him.
Gotcha.
Just like it, like I wasn't sure if they were trying to educate or if they're just like, fuck it, this is just a story that we're working on, you know. But it's like, and actually in that same IndieWire article that we were talking about before, they get to the when you get to the bottom, they're talking about the family of one of the, I think, the people that he killed. And it's just like, yo, like ask them about some shit versus
exactly.
like trying to do shit like this.
Which is the documentaries that I've watched about this. Yeah, where they actually do go to the families, at least the ones who want to talk.
Yeah.
And you do get the inside of them. And that's, to me, way more compelling than sensationalizing the actual Jeffrey Dahmer.
I would have to agree. Again, like if this was coming out of somewhere, like if this was telling a story about somebody we didn't know about or whatever the case is, I get it. I know where you guys are coming from. You're trying to shed light on something that people didn't really fucking know about. But for this, it's just like, I feel like I'm more on the side of, even though I'm still split, I'm more on the side of this feels more sensationalistic and it feels like, again, like, you know, would they be telling this story? Like, you know, they've done plenty of stories about the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
But I don't, with Jeffrey Dahmer, with Ted Bundy, it feels like there's a pattern here of like, oh yeah, young white dudes who do crazy ass shit. Generally always is the same. You know what I mean? Let's, you know, splash their face everywhere.
Night Stalker guys, same exact thing. Like, just a somewhat decently looking white guy who's charming enough to get you into his car.
Yeah, but like it seems like Hollywood's like obsessed with that. Like, oh my god, he looks good, but he's a killer. I don't know. It seems crazy to us. I'm just like, all right, dudes.
As opposed to an ugly white killer.
They're like, we have no interest in this story.
No interest,
I don't want to like, and that's what I'm saying. Like that, like, because I think the Zodiac Killer was not a Dahmer, and I think that that story was kind of crazy that
they generally like when they make portrayals of it, they don't show them, and they do it from the perspective of the cops, which is like Jake Gyllenhaal, you know, like good looking white guy.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that we found the culprit here. They just want to get good looking white dudes on the fucking screen.
That's what it
at
is.
all costs. Yeah. So yeah. I don't. Yeah.
I will pass on this, and you know. For Kim Alsop, it sucks that you had that experience. Like it absolutely does, because I can't say I've been in the same sort of situation, but I have been called plenty of things, the wrong things, names that aren't even close to my name.
Yeah.
At times, names that of like Russian people just because they assume Bosnia is Russia. So I get it. The article though is more what I have an issue with. Not actually her experience, is the fact that they wrote an entire article based on
her experience, which is like, it's pretty, I would argue it's pretty debatable on whether this story merited
it almost feels exploitative, like that they're just exploiting
it's like,
now.
You're black and you say you had a bad experience with this show that it already has like a contentious relationship with the black community, so we don't really give a fuck what the story is, as long as you're black. You have an issue with the show. Yeah, we'll put that out there. Yeah, you know,
an L for IndieWire, if you ask me.
Yeah. I don't think. I think this was a miss by far. Yeah, and I think I have a thing about like I've been really looking at the titles of articles differently over the last like maybe a few months. Interesting what they title things and what they actually are. Black PA slams Dahmer production experience, one of the worst shows I've ever worked on, right? With that, like the titling of that article leads you to believe something I think that is drastically different than what's actually in the fucking article, which is not I'm not breaking new fucking ground here in terms of like clickbait titles and shit, but it's just it's popping out to me more in like the last few months of just like more and more, and I also noticed this on like there's this publication called like heavy.com or something like that, and basically, and I noticed them because they talk about like sports stuff, and obviously I follow the Packers, and so like they would put like articles of just like knowing the thing itself wasn't that big of a deal, but that like they would go out of their way to make you think that something is just like the Packers targeting this wide receiver, but it's like not the Packers targeting the wide receiver. It's just them saying this is who the Packers should target. But it's like, why the fuck do I care about who you say the
like
Packers
your
should
opinion
target?
that they're targeting?
Are they actually targeting? And it's just like, why are you playing these fucking games? Just fucking come on.
Look, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
We can even use this as a segue to the next story because it's also from IndieWire. And in the next story, there's one specific line in their actual article.
Why don't you
that I hate? Yeah. So Adrian Brody. This is from IndieWire.
Have you watched Succession, by the way?
I have seen a few episodes.
I love the show.
The reason why is because Seth Meyers on his late night show or whatever constantly talks about it, and he links some of the former Trump administration people to Succession and everything. So love it. But this article states Adrian Brody says Jeremy Strong kept his quote distance from Brian Cox on set of Succession, and I don't know the entire full story from it. So I mean, you can take over, but the one thing that I had an issue with when I was reading this article, not even going through the entire story. So the line that says Adrian Brody, who guest stars on the Emmy-winning drama, told The Hollywood Reporter that Strong kept his distance from co-star Brian Cox. And to me, it felt like that they were just glorifying everything that Adrian Brody was saying because he's this, big name versus
the actual story itself.
Exactly. Which when I was reading the first article that we just talked about, and then I came to this one, I'm like, all right, like I'm losing a little bit of faith here in you, IndieWire. Yeah. But I'll let you take over because I feel like you probably know more about it. I've watched about 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's really not that complicated of a thing to kind of jump through. Basically, Brian Cox, who plays Logan Roy, he has a contentious relationship with his son, Kendall, on the show, who's played by Jeremy Strong. They just have a very, terrible relationship. And in the particular thing that Adrian Brody, the scene that they all had together, basically they're at this, they go to Adrian Brody's estate in the show, and they're having a contentious sort of moment in their relationship, father and son, as well as having this contentious relationship with Adrian Brody's character, who phenomenal in the show, by the way. He was fucking great. I don't know if you got to the part where he's in it.
But I've seen a few clips from it.
Oh my gosh, he plays basically just like a douchebag rich dude who wears these little puffer coats, and he plays it to a fucking T, dude. He fucking nailed it, dude. And so basically, as the story goes, Brian or Jeremy Strong essentially kind of kept his distance from Brian Cox on set, apparently. I'm into this method acting. I think whatever fucking helps your performance is great. Now, I think where Adrian Brody kind of gets it right, which is as long as it's not disruptive to other people.
Right.
Because I think it's when you start doing weird shit and you're just a dick to people. Because then I think it blurs the line between you just assuming the right to just be an asshole because for the sake of your art versus being a decent human being. I think that's where it becomes not just this person's just.
Well, you've had that in Hollywood throughout, playing. Edward Norton has a huge reputation for doing this. Everything from the way he does his method acting to just wanting to rewrite scenes on the set itself. So it can absolutely be disruptive. So I agree. If it's not disruptive and that's what you're doing, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Obviously Daniel Day-Lewis is always, for somebody who we talk about a lot as oh my God, he's such a great actor. I've seen very few Daniel Day-Lewis movies. I was talking about this with a friend.
Have you seen his international stuff, or is it just?
No, I literally any Daniel Day-Lewis movie I don't know if I've seen one, honestly.
Really?
I think I've seen Lincoln. No, I don't even know if I've seen Lincoln. There Will Be Blood. Right, that's the one, right? Or am I thinking Gangs of New York?
Well, I was thinking Gangs of New York.
I don't think I've seen either. And he's There Will Be Blood, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, definitely haven't seen that.
Yeah. Daniel Plainview, was that his name? There Will Be Blood.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so that's why I'm keeping.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I don't know.
Yeah, because he played in Gangs of New York, Billy the Butcher, right?
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I must have completely just
I keep saying I haven't seen these movies.
Yeah, Gangs of New York was good, man.
No, I actually talked about this with a friend the other day. It's like they're like I want to do like an entire show about like embarrassing movies that we haven't seen, that everybody's like, oh my god, like this. How are you a film fan and you?
Well, you do this with me with Star Wars all the time.
I mean, it is embarrassing.
Yeah, see?
To be fair, who the fuck hasn't seen Star Wars?
This guy.
Wait, what do you like? I don't even know what that means, dude.
It means I started watching it.
I think they're showing it on TBS right now,
and I fall asleep every time.
How do you fall asleep? Well, okay, fair enough. Okay, no, I take that back.
If I wanted to stop taking gummies to help me fall asleep, I just put on Star Wars. Right asleep.
Really?
30 minutes in.
What is it like? What scene in particular do you like? Oh, guys, snooze fest.
I always fall asleep before, or right as when they get to the bar.
The cantina.
Yeah, the cantina. Yep. Fall asleep right there.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay, well, it's not fair. Just fucking.
So at least you know I've watched to that point.
Sit through the movie, you child.
And then I think I tried watching one of the when what's his face the young guy
Boyega.
No. Hayden Christensen when he first played in it. I tried watching one of those. Just.
Yeah, well, there's okay. So as
which I know they were like apparently the horrible ones.
Well, so as it goes, as with all things in time, people then have revisions, where it's like, I don't know if we gave it as much. And honestly, I sit in that camp of I actually don't think the prequels were really like acting very questionable. Right? Like there's just no two ways about it. Mm-hmm. It's just not great acting. I don't know what to tell you. Specifically from Hayden Christensen, but also he was like super young, and also they didn't really give him that much to fucking work with as far as like dialogue go. Both him and what's her name? Fucking who played Padme? She was just in Thor: Thunder and Love. Or Love and Thunder, whatever the fuck it was.
Jesus.
Natalie Portman.
Which is, I think, I watched. Like,
she's a great actress. Yeah. Somehow she could not find anything to work in that fucking movie, right? Or in those movies, right? There's nothing worked for her in there.
Well, what you like the story, or you like the
no? It's
CGI
actually a really
of it, or
both. I think the CGI for its time, it was like actually one of the first movies to I think go completely digital.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the Phantom Menace. I think it was the Phantom Menace. Maybe it was. I don't know. To just be completely digital, because I don't think it was What was the second movie? The Phantom Menace, and then The Revenge of the Sith was the third. The second movie was, what was the middle movie?
I'm leaving it up to you because I wouldn't know.
You didn't see it. No, I got to remember this on the spot. No, I can't look it up either. The Phantom Menace. Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
Yeah. Or no, it wasn't the Clone. Attack of the Clones. Yeah, I got it right. Attack of the Clones?
Yes.
There you go. All right.
No, it was the Phantom Menace 99, Attack of the Clones 2.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah. Then you're right.
Yeah. Anyways.
Revenge of the Sith was 05.
Yeah. Yeah. Acting.
I watched
terrible.
Rogue One. I did watch Rogue One.
Do you like Rogue One?
Not particularly.
Yeah, I do not agree that it's a good movie.
I recall it was on. I was at somebody's house and just kind of like watching it, but we were having like side conversations about stuff. So
yeah,
what's the actress's name?
I don't remember.
Felicity Jones. And I was I like her as an actress, so I kind of just sat through it. But yeah, there wasn't anything special. They do
have a
to it.
show going on right now, Andor, which is basically
the
a spinoff of Rogue One. I'm definitely going to try to jump into that.
I have heard people say good things about it. So
yeah. What? Okay, I need you to sit through Star Wars, dude, because it truly is embarrassing. Like I know I'm talking about movies
in the actual order that they were put out, or in the order of.
I don't think chronological just fucking order. Sit through the fucking movie is all I need you to do here. And honestly, specifically, the first movie. I just need you to.
It might take a year.
Just sit through the movie. Just take 2 hours. I don't even think it's 2 hours
you
long.
You are asking for way too much, man. Way too much.
I don't understand. They're okay. So the movie, one of the movies that I feel really weird about that I haven't seen that I know everybody else like just immediately orgasms over is Casablanca. I haven't seen Casablanca. I need to fucking watch Casablanca, dude.
I mean, I watched it in the translated German version, but I've seen it.
There's no form of that what you just said that sounds enjoyable to me.
It's in my opinion not that great of a movie, but People just
you know what
love
movie
it. And they
I
just
did see
love it.
that is an old movie that because I know I'm supposed to be like a film head and I'm supposed to like be a cinephile and love all these like cherish the sanctity of film and it just looks so good
I feel like
the way
I
they used to do it. No,
Citizen Kane.
No, I fucking hate Citizen Kane. Like
Yeah,
with a passion
so
too. Like you know how like
boring.
the judge says we're dismissing this case with prejudice. Yeah, I fucking hate Citizen Kane with prejudice. I fucking hate it so much. It's so boring. It's so boring. I don't care how many times people are like, "Well, you don't understand the story, and you're not a real." I don't care. Call me not a real film.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm with you, man.
enthusiast.
I'm with you.
I don't give a shit. That shit
So
is boring as fuck.
And we had to watch it in literature class or something like that in high school, like every year.
So I watched it. So I took film course. This is before I went to my 4-year college. I went to a community college, and I was taking a few film courses there. And I remember we watched Citizen Kane, and first of all, the movie's like. It's just unreasonably long. It's like 3 hours long for no discernible reason, really. And it's just like fucking fades in and out of just fucking conversations between old white fat dudes.
Man.
And
it's
just
so dull. The conversations are dry.
I feel like maybe I'll have a different appreciation for it today. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I just remember being like, yo, what the fuck are we doing here? I just watched the dude talk for like 3 hours about no particular thing other than his just ramblings about yesteryear. Okay. It's just like I don't know what the fuck we're talking about here. And so I hate Citizen Kane. Anyways, I
will take an hour and 45 minutes and I will watch.
You have to, dude. I just to take that out of your fucking mouth that you haven't seen Star Wars. I need for that.
Well,
to
but
happen.
then it's just gonna be why I didn't like Star Wars.
Well, why are you're discriminating against it? You don't know. You have no idea. You haven't
haven't
been past the fucking cantina scene. How the fuck do you know if you like it or not? You don't know. Give it a try.
I think I woke up at one point and I was noticing a weird digital
the movie was
thing.
Made in 1970.
Yeah, this was like a re-digitalized version of it where
that was done in like
later on
98. Like give it a break, dude.
Who was the weird blob looking thing?
Who was the weird? Are you talking about Jabba the Hutt?
Sure.
I don't know what weird blob thing.
I just remember waking up and there was a scene where he was talking to somebody else, and in the frame. I guess he was supposed to go over something, and like the digitalized image just like jumped over like something's like really odd.
Addy,
I just remember I was like, wait, did the DVD just skip? Or like what actually happened? And they're like, oh yeah, well they explained the whole story. Like originally he wanted to have this digital version of Jabba the Hutt, I guess, and they couldn't do it back then, so they like superimposed it later on when the technology became a thing. And I'm like. All right,
Addy, you're talking about things I don't care about. I don't like.
Yeah, you're talking about a movie I don't care about.
No. You're saying it from like a critical perspective of just like, hey, here are the things you don't like about the production. Just fucking watch the movie. Just
let's get back to Succession. We just jumped way off course here.
No, I have to finish this fucking conversation about shit
every
that I
single time we get to Star Wars, it becomes a thing.
No,
every time.
Let me finish this real quick. So, Metropolis was the movie that I watched. Now there are critiques that clearly we could say about that, but it was one of the first like really old fucking movies that I remember watching. Like, yo, I actually really fucking like this, and it has a lot to do with like the means of production, and there's a lot of like politics sort of like layered in there.
I will say I've enjoyed it later on in life more than
exactly, and I think it actually has a lot to do with me probably the time I watched because I watched this late 20s, I think, somewhere around there, late 20s, early 30s, probably late 20s. And I just remember like, oh shit, this is actually not fucking terrible, and so, but it's rare for me to like watch like a super fucking old movie and not get like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, let's speed this bad boy
up. The political angle of it, I enjoyed.
Yeah. Anyways, I had to get that out for whatever reason.
There you go.
I got it out. All right. So back to Succession. I'm all for the method acting, but kind of like as Adrian Brody and I always get Adam Brody and
I know,
Adrian
yeah.
Brody
When I was
mixed up.
mentioning it
Yeah.
earlier, I was like, is
They're
it
not
Adrian or
at
Adam?
all
Yeah.
the
No,
same
not
here,
at
but,
all. One's career up here,
yeah,
the
no.
other one's like, just
I
kind of
don't
in
know.
the middle.
There might be an article written about how I always get Adam Brody and
Yeah,
Adrian
maybe.
Brody
By
confused
IndieWire.
by IndieWire. Yeah.
It's a
they're just
controversy
really
now.
into it. They're like, I don't know why everybody's fucking everybody's
This
names
black
up.
guy fucked up this guy's name.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you have any other musings about method acting versus?
No. As long as you don't become like the asshole,
Yeah, a
you
dick.
know, in this, because I kind of feel like it's so easy for egos to just blow up on a Hollywood set. So
sure.
if you're keeping it to yourself and you're doing your own thing, and look, the show is, I'm 5 episodes in. The show is great, has great reviews. People talk about it constantly. So whatever they're doing, it's working. It really is.
I fucking love the show. There are other people who aren't so as high on high show. It's just how everybody in the show is an asshole, and
Yeah.
I just love the fact that everybody's
Yeah.
an asshole and everybody,
Asshole within the family structure
yeah,
is just fantastic.
and you
It's
can kind
just
of like trace back like why they're all assholes
Yeah,
is
yeah.
because of this one asshole, and you kind of find out why he's an ass, and it's like, yeah,
well, it's kind of why I like let's say Narcos, not Narcos. Shoot, I'm 3 seasons into it. It's on Netflix. We were just talking about
The
it.
Thing.
Oh, jeez.
Mindhunter? No, not Mindhunter.
No, not Mindhunter. No,
That's promptly over.
talking about they just finished the last season. The guy from Arrested Development is in it.
Oh, Ozarks.
Ozarks. I don't know why I kept thinking Narcos in my head, and I'm like, I finished Narcos.
It's close enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that too. Just like the family dynamic of it, but they're just
Wait. Oh, so you said you did finish it?
no. I finished Narcos.
No. So you haven't finished?
No.
Ozark?
I'm like 3 seasons into it.
Yeah, we gotta talk about.
Yeah, but I love the family dynamic.
Yeah.
They're constantly just at each other.
Yeah.
Lying to each other all the time. I love that, man. That's
Yeah.
why Succession, same thing. Like, the assholeness in the family
Yeah.
of a multi-billion-dollar,
And
company.
it's such a weird show too, in that it's like it's kind of a comedy, but it's like a dark comedy, and it's like, but it's like
exactly.
kind of a drama, but
Yep.
it's like
love it.
a
I
lot
love
of
it.
different fucking
Love
things, and it's like it's hard to pinpoint exactly what direction they're fucking coming from, and I just like and all the
Like-
side characters are like just fucking weirdos. And
Yeah, like you
yeah.
can in one episode you can fall in love with a character, and the next one you're like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking love Succession. And also it gives it like a little bit of a window too into like what these people like. It's basically like, what if you're around the Kardashians, but they weren't trying to like
I know, right?
censor themselves for fucking
Kind of shows
TV.
you like who's okay to step on who. It doesn't matter at your family. Like we can step on each other.
Yeah,
when money is involved.
especially when it's like this much money and
Yep.
like everybody's just like trying to fucking go get it. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump to our trailers, dude. I think we can actually get to those now. Our first trailer here is going to be for a movie entitled Raymond and Ray. This is starring both Ethan Hawke as well as Ewan McGregor, along with Sophie Okonido. And I'm probably butchering her name. My apologies.
I don't know.
Don't try to make yourself sound smarter than me, okay?
I don't know, man. I'm helping you.
Yeah, you don't have to try that hard. It's not that hard to sound smarter than me. Maribel Verdú, along with other people. This is directed by Rodrigo Garcia and written by Garcia as well, and is due out. This is due out October 21st of this particular year on Apple TV Plus, I do believe. And with that being said, let's go ahead and check out. Let's check out the trailer for Raymond and Ray.
It was your father's last wish that you dig his grave.
What? Our father is dead. His last wish was that his sons attend his funeral.
You don't have to go. He's dead. He'll never know.
You're a very tender man, you know that?
Okay, your father's last will. It was his wish that you dig his grave.
What? The old man was always screwing with us. But forgiveness is good.
I want to show you the casket that your father pre-selected.
The cheapest man who ever lived.
Hi.
How did you know our father?
We were lovers for a while. What was he like as a father?
The worst. Like a weight on my chest.
Forgiveness is good.
Hi guys, this is my son, Simon, Raymond, and Ray. Your brothers.
What the fuck?
Hello.
Hey.
We come from chaos. Our father was a monster. We repeat.
We don't have to. Growing up, my brother and I, we were connected at the hip. And then just being near each other is a reminder of all that pain.
I want to know what it feels like, letting it go. But I'm scared it's gonna crush me. Come with me.
Okay. But it's gonna take a whole lot more than a hole in the ground to get the old man out of your head.
October 21st.
Yeah, fuck with it.
Ray. Yeah, I can. I don't know how like the family father angle and everything. In relations to what they're going through hits you.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had a somewhat decent relationship with my father.
Yep.
So during his passing, it was strenuous. It was a lot of heartfelt moments that you just. I don't think I'll ever forget. I don't know how it would be if it was like a situation like this. I don't know if I'd be reacting like to these guys. Like one, I didn't want to go to my dad's funeral because it was gonna be hard. It was just gonna be emotionally wrecking for me, and I really didn't want to go. But the fact that I did end up going and being there for my brothers, that was good. If my dad though was like the way they're describing him, I probably wouldn't go.
Really?
I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I never. It's not that I don't understand that. I just.
I definitely wouldn't
How am I
dig a
trying to-
grave.
No, I don't think. I don't think I can be persuaded to dig anybody's grave. That's just not.
And I'm like, how much does cremation cost?
Look,
Let's get this done with.
I'm in film. I don't dig graves. Okay? That's
Yeah,
not-
right.
Unless
These
it's-
hands are moisturized.
Yeah, exactly. I moisturize, dude. I don't have time to dig graves. Unless I'm on a film set and I'm digging a grave for. Even then, it's creepy and I don't want to do it. Okay, I'll just we'll get.
There's something about death and you're digging the grave.
We'll
and
get
you're
a PA for that and
is
hopefully
someone gonna
remember
push
their
me
name
in here. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yo, that's fucked up. I'm glad you made that joke, man. That's not me.
Hey, we get away with what we can get away with. That
I guess.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's for somebody to pass, and for me, and especially like whether I had a contentious relationship or not. If we were blood, and it was a more immediate family member, it's like, yeah, what I'm going to do? Not go? Like, yeah, of course I'm going to go.
I am that petty.
Really? So it's a petty thing.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just okay with not going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
When people will say that's petty, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Interesting. Yeah, that's yeah, I don't and I guess it's not that I don't harbor things. Clearly I fucking do, right? Like I feel certain ways and I'm like, I don't feel that particular way about this person. But I think that because I feel like I have the fear that when somebody passes and like maybe they weren't the nicest person, for nobody to go to their funeral or for like there to be like two people at their funeral, it's just like if somebody died, like, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously if you're talking about like, all right, when Jeffrey Dahmer died, right? Like it's whatever, right? Like I don't think anybody's like, I mean, I'm sure his parents probably felt the way, but also, dude, he mass murderer. I feel like we're good there.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're okay there. But if it's like, if you're just a shitty person, like, you're just a shitty person, but you passed away. Like, it doesn't that doesn't mean you weren't a person.
I mean, look, there's some humanity in your statement there.
Yeah.
You know, you have some sympathy there. To me, you literally dug your own grave there. Because if you were this, if you were this kind of person, you deserve nobody showing up. That's on you. Like it's really on you. Not to stay on this point, I did want to mention something. I am not an Ethan Hawke fan. I will probably watch this. I'm not an Ethan Hawke. I will tell you. I will tell you exactly why I'm not an Ethan Hawke fan.
Did he spit in your face or something? Anything short of that is just nonsense to me.
No, he plays a pussy, a vagina, in too many things.
What?
I'll give you an example. Training Day. He's a vagina.
2000.
He is a vagina.
22. Are you still using pussy as a derogatory term?
Yes, absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
In Daybreakers, total vagina. Kings of Brooklyn, total vagina.
Scrotums hurt and are more fragile than vagina.
I understand that. It's just I was associating this term with him since like the early 2000s, and that's when the term was used.
Just call him scrotum. Just
scrotum. Yeah, okay. He's a scrotum. Exactly. But I will watch this. This kind of looks like a nice, heartwarming comedy.
Wait. Which movies did you say he played?
Training Day.
Scrotum.
Yeah, absolutely. Until the very end, he was a vagina. A scrotum. Sorry.
But I think that's kind of like the whole point. Is like you have this faux fucking tough guy.
Don't care.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next movie.
Daybreakers.
Don't recall Daybreakers.
Vampire movie. He played a complete vagina.
Nope.
Kings of Brooklyn. He played a vagina cop, scrotum cop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just.
What do you feel about
Before, The Purge? Also,
or the Before series?
I was okay with it.
Still scrotum there.
Yeah.
Why?
I can watch it. It's just a scrotum.
Okay. Boyhood.
Oh man, Boyhood. I remember sitting through that because that was like a big thing you wanted to like watch.
Are you talking about me specifically?
Yeah.
That was the thing I didn't want to watch, and I was thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kept seeing a scrotum on the screen. So.
Okay, man. I
will watch this though. I'll let you know.
What is it? I don't understand. Like, so he's just like not a authoritative man.
Yeah, exactly.
So he
looks like he's cut for no reason.
Are you an incel secretly?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like this is an incel conversation.
I'm telling you, he is cut and ripped for no reason.
Cut and ripped. What the fuck are you
that
talking
man,
about?
that man will not pick a fight with anybody.
How do we even know that if he's...
No, we don't know this.
What are you? Are you high right now? What are you talking about?
It is a general statement I'm making about him with no evidence, but he is a scrotum.
I don't even know. I'm not even going to begin to pick apart this. I'm just going to move forward. Okay?
Not a fan.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
I'll let you know what I think of the movie, though.
All right,
Apple Plus.
All right, dude.
Gotta watch something.
Yeah, we do not have enough time on this podcast to figure out the inner workings of why you think all that. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a good movie or a good trailer. It looked easygoing. It looked like just a heartfelt movie. I personally am a fan of Ethan Hawke. There's not. I liked him in more recently Moon Knight. I thought he was fucking fantastic in Moon Knight. Ewan McGregor I can always take. I loved him in the new Obi-Wan series. And neither of these two dudes, I can understand why they cast him in this because neither of them are offensive dudes, at least to me. Apparently to you, Ethan Hawke is offensive. But to me, both of them are just basically kind of mirror images of one another. They're just unassuming white dudes, you know?
I could kind of see it for these roles. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. How have you been feeling about Apple TV Plus though? Like with the stuff that they've been putting out?
I feel like I don't watch enough of it. Okay. I feel like they put out really good content. Mm-hmm. Although I did watch the movie. I think it's called Black Box.
Yeah.
Right. That's on Apple TV, right? What do you think about that? Interesting movie.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate it.
It was kind of stupid a little bit.
It was one of those movies where when I was working, I just put it on and I was just kind of like following along, listening a little bit.
And then you get to a certain point where you're just like, oh, this is kind of stupid. Yeah, this is kind of dumb.
But but no,
I like the build up. I like the build up.
Yeah,
the build up was
absolutely.
Cool. The payoff was not there.
The trailer hooked me, and then towards the end, I was like, all right, my work day.
We know what this is. We know what we got here.
But I like some of their series. There is one series on there. Shoot.
Yeah, Orain can't shut up about the movie or the show C.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I watched the first season. I got to get it back into it. It's not bad. The production value of it is really good.
Yeah.
The acting is good.
Servant, I heard.
Oh,
is
Servant.
really good.
Woo. Love
It's really
Servant,
good?
man.
I gotta watch
it's
it.
fantastic. It is Smile, just godly, like creepy.
Okay.
The movie Smile, where you just like, it's a white woman smiling. Leanne smiles a lot in that movie. Watch.
Or is it a movie or show?
I'm sorry, show. Yeah.
Okay.
Fourth season should be coming out, I think, either at the end of this year or sometime next year.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Watch it. Like if you get a chance, it's really well done.
It's on my list.
Yeah, one of the comebacks for M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, is that M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah, it's one of his productions. I mean, he doesn't do a ton of it. Actually, one of his family members directs a lot of it. Because you'll see something Shyamalan,
Family
and I'm like,
member's
what?
a better storyteller than him. Hilarious.
It's really good though. Definitely watch it.
Okay, let's truck forward here. We have a trailer for "I Love You, You Hate Me." Basically, it's just a so it follows Barney the dinosaur's furious reaction, which I don't even like. Furious and Barney are not synonymous with me.
Yeah, I had no idea that this was what this was, so I'm getting caught off guard.
You and me both. And what he says about the human need to hate. Something in America, society was broken and never came back. I mean,
2016.
It would no. I feel like America's broken
Well before.
well before that. Or is it just who we were all along? Let's just watch this. I don't even feel like
I'm
talking
really
about it.
interesting. I want to see this.
It just exploded nationwide.
It was a cultural phenomenon.
What color is happier than purple? No color.
This is
So a
Barney,
documentary.
and this is what he sounded like. Barney stands for inclusion, acceptance.
You should love everyone. We all have Cheryl Leach to thank for that.
As her beloved character was heading into the stratosphere, people couldn't accept that this was just a show, and so let the bashing begin.
Some of the rumors that I heard, Barney hides drugs in his tail.
They were violent and explicit.
Death and dismemberment of my family.
I love you, Barney.
They were going to come and find me, and they were going to kill me.
Just the dark side of this whole moment. That must have devastated Cheryl.
There was something larger going on here.
I don't think you could ever think somebody would go and shoot someone.
What? What the fuck is this shit?
They better not be
oh shit!
pulling a fast one on us here. I need to see somebody dead now, because if they're saying you wouldn't think somebody would get shot over this, somebody needs to be shot over this. If you're gonna show that in that clip,
this drops October 12th.
Oh, I am watching.
I am checking this shit out.
I am watching this.
The fuck do you mean somebody got shot because of Barney? It's America. Why do we doubt it?
Yeah.
Why are we doubting? Yeah, of course. Of course, an American.
You
would get
already
so mad.
know Netflix is planning a retelling similar to Dahmer with Barney.
They've already got it in the works.
In the works.
Yeah, we'll see a trailer in about 2 weeks.
I did not know this, man. This is wild.
This is I need to see this. I don't. Yeah.
I will look at Barney through a different lens. I feel.
You know, I've obviously been reminiscing about all these old movies and stuff that we were watching as kids. And I do remember that there was, I was pretty fucking obsessed with Barney at various points, right? It waned pretty quickly. There
was a high and it was a quick drop off.
Quick drop off.
Same thing for me.
Love the Power Rangers, right? Through all of it, right? I literally go back now and watch old episodes. I can't do it very long.
What about the recent movie a few years ago? Did you watch that?
I did. Didn't care for it.
Yeah. I like the nostalgia of it, but that was about it.
I don't even. It kind of was not even recognizable.
It was way too long. Way too long.
Well, way too long, and also
the build up when they were transforming was also way too long.
Yeah, it took 4 hours, and I was just like, it's morphin time. That's all I need. I don't need much. Just it's morphin time. That's all we got to do.
Yeah,
guys.
that's all it is. Yeah,
morph. Yeah, and then just morph. That's it. I don't need the fucking backstory about how somebody fell into a cave and then they started fucking floating, and then I don't need that shit. Just it's morphin time. That's it. That's all I need. But with Barney, it was a pretty fucking steep drop off, where it was so fucking dope, and then it became real creepy for me. I was just like, why is this big purple motherfucker running around acting nice and shit? You can
I mean, you kind of get that same vibe after Teletubbies came out when my little brother was.
No, I just found those creepy.
Like,
yeah, there was never. A
he
point
would
where,
like watch that, and I'd be
Teletubbies,
like, "Yo,
this shit looks crazy.
Weird.
What are we doing here?
Why is there a baby in the sky?
Yeah,
Weird.
Yeah. What the fuck do the symbols on their head mean? I don't know. I'm not into.
Imagine if we get a Teletubbies trailer documentary
that
like
shit
this.
Would be dark, dude.
Yeah,
there's so much
the
coke.
Baby now is doing coke.
He's doing crack, and it's like, Jesus, what the fuck is happening here?
Oh man.
Yeah, this Barney shit looks. That looks interesting.
And then this is a series.
This is a series. Yeah, it's gonna be premiering on the 12th, October 12th.
All right, I got something to watch then.
Yeah, for sure, man. The Untold Story of Barney.
Clearly untold, because I don't feel like anybody knew.
No, nobody knew what the fuck was going on with Barney, dude. We just thought everything was fucking smiles and shit. But apparently not. Apparently there's like death threats and
apparently,
that just shows you, man. Like, America has zero chill.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Zero chill. There is just no iteration of America that's just like, all right, yeah, we're just gonna
sit down and watch this and let it
like
be.
even before the age, because I feel like everybody's blaming social media for like the chaos of the world. But this shit was well before fucking social media.
First of all, social media only allowed people the access to see the shit.
Or to be
live
more, to like
and
lean into their
exactly.
shit. Yeah.
Whereas in this shit, like I always tell people all the time, like when people say like racially things with like cops and like black people and everything, and they're like, cops beat us, and like you were saying that before. Now you actually have like footage of it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like these things were happening. So it's like same thing with this. Like I can see shit was happening.
Yeah.
People just may not have been aware of it right
100%.
then and there, because you got to think like news was like very regional. So it's like you kind of get what's going on in your region there, and especially if you're in a small town too. Like you may not know in North Dakota what's happening in Florida or New York or something like that.
And what I can say that's true about here in Baltimore is that they generally don't report on the fucked up things, even though the Baltimore Police Department notorious for being just every bit of fucking corrupt assholes, right? Doing the most fucked up shit. But what do you hear on the nightly, whatever news is, somebody gets robbed, somebody gets whatever. We need to be tough on crime, but they don't talk about the crimes that the actual cops actually commit.
Everything from like the corruption with money involved, the corruption with planting drugs.
Framing people.
Some cop a couple of years ago chopped up like his like stepson and left him in his attic, and it was just like and the department is covering up for it. Like, it's bad. It's bad.
On that note,
let's move on. And
let's get the fuck out of here. This is what that note is.
Don't come to Baltimore.
That is not the PSA we take out
I
of
can't
that.
say I
Come to
love
Baltimore,
man.
just it's fucking dope here. Like I basically have to probably make a decision next couple of years in terms of if I'm gonna stay in Baltimore or leave. I'm gonna find it hard to leave, man.
Italy is nice and warm, and they've got beautiful beaches, man.
Dude, I'm not financially ready to go make that move to fucking Italy. That's a retirement sort of situation there. That's when I hang it up. Is I think I'm going to in Italy.
I think so.
Yeah, have you ever been?
Only the like way northern part of it, just because Germany's right there. Okay. So we a couple of times, but none of the like nice places that you're thinking of.
Yeah,
it was very mountainous, like small villages and stuff
Florence,
like that.
Man.
I was nowhere near there.
Toscana.
You know
what?
We are gonna have an episode of the podcast one day while you're down
from
there.
Italy?
Yeah, I'll hop the ferry from France. It'll be fun, man.
Oh, it'll be dope. It'll
be fun.
Real smooth. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, man. I got shit to do. It's Saturday. If you fuck with us through the show, you listen all the way through. Appreciate you. Hit that like button, subscribe button, share. You don't know what the fuck to do. I'm not gonna tell you guys. All right. With that being said, we'll be back hopefully next week. Rain's feeling a little better. Got a little tummy ache. Got a little
ironically, when I'm available to come into studio.
Yeah, and then he just doesn't fucking show. I swear to God.
Love it.
See how that happens.
Hey, it's all right, man. I'm glad to fill in.
I appreciate that, man. We'll be back next week. Relatively same time, relatively same place. Till then, I think we will indeed hit the very usual. Fade the fuck out, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your Saturdays. Go be safe. Just stay away from those gummies. Stay away from the gummies.
Car right now.
Yikes. Yeah, Baltimore PD's all over the place, so be careful.